Every strategy eventually fails. Strategy life cycles are shrinking. Expiration dates are getting shorter. We live in a world where advantages last for like 5 minutes. We blink, and that window of opportunity is gone. So you have to build an adaptable strategy that could seize new opportunities that may present themselves. The companies who win today win because they can move at light speed. Speed kills. Speed is hard to replicate. So when you build your strategy, make sure that you use speed as a strategic weapon, that your strategy can move on a dime. We could pivot, we could adjust, we're not locked into it, we can move faster than some of the other companies. So it's got to be adaptable, especially today. You know, in the past, the world did not change at the pace it's changing today. So you might have developed a strategy and it might have lasted years. Today, strategies are lasting a week. So make sure you understand that and build it to be adaptable, to adjust. Too many people fall in love with their strategies and they can face all the realities, but they want to deny it because they're still in denial, thinking that the world's not changing, and they're locked into an outdated strategy that's killing them. Now here's the critical test, is talent. Do you have the talent to execute your strategy? It's your employees that transform your strategy from words to numbers. Without people performance, a great strategy is just an idea. So do you have the employees to execute your strategy, and do you have leaders to drive the strategy? Employees execute, leaders drive. Now, if you have a talent gap where you realize, I don't think I have the talent to execute the strategy, then how are you going to fill that gap? Will training or skill development or coaching, will that fill the gap? If the answer is no, then you've got to bring some fresh blood into the organization. The critical driver to performance lies in your ability to put the right people with the right skills and the right positions, and then aligning your workforce to the strategy. So talent is critical at the end of the day because it takes people to execute that strategy. There's 6 things I'm going to talk to you about with implementation. One is involvement. Strategies should not be developed in isolation at the top of the organization by management and then mandated down and handed off to the frontline employees to execute. So whoever is involved in your organization that has some responsibility for the strategy, I don't care how small that responsibility is, they should be involved on the front end, not the back end, but on the front end in the development and the formation of that strategy. Why, you ask? Because involvement drives buy-in, buy-in drives ownership, and then ownership drives engagement. When people are involved, it becomes their strategy, not management's. Number 2 is explain the why. Explain the why behind the strategy. Explaining the why, and we never do this. We always tell people what to do, but we never explain why we're doing these things. And when you do explain the why, it adds meaning. It's difficult to succeed at something that you're unclear about. So why this strategy versus another strategy? What do we hope that this strategy is going to accomplish? What are the goals and objectives of this strategy? And when you figure all these things out, clearly define and communicate the goals, the objectives of the strategy. And when you're developing that strategy, clarity and simplicity are critical because they improve your odds for success, because employees are better able to understand the strategy and internalize it. That's why I've got one of those questions. Can your strategy, could a 7th grader understand it? Sometimes we write in too many fancy words because we think we're an owner or a CFO or a CEO, so we use eloquent language. But would a cashier understand that? So use language that a 7th grader can understand. The shorter, that's why I said, try to get it down to 1 sentence.